to. It is Monday, July the 11th. I am recording late. This is Flosstube number 49, and you are watching Stitch with Mel. I'm Melissa, and it is nice to meet you. So first off, I want to thank everybody for coming back who has been here this whole time. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate you guys coming back, and I appreciate the friendships. We'll talk about more of that in a minute. For those of you who are just now finding me, let me know how. Like, you know, say, hey, so-and-so sent me over here. I love hearing that. I love the connection that happens. If you'd like to, go ahead and like, subscribe, do all the things, share it. That would be perfect. I'm not I'm not out looking for numbers. It's just, you know, fun to have different people come in so that I can connect with new people. Y'all excuse the mess. That's whips. It's a whole thing. It's grown legs and grown. I don't know. All right, let's rehash. Grab your coffee. Maybe a minute. I don't think tissues are needed this week. It's okay. I want to thank everybody for reaching out after last week's video. The last two videos have been somewhat, we'll just leave it at emotional. Last week's video was hard to record. It was hard to comprehend. I will tell you without a lick of shame, every single time I've watched it, I had to quit watching it. Every single time I've watched it, I fall apart. It just happens. Waterworks come. People will text me, like on my, you know, my personal cell phone number because they have it. They're like, Melissa, what's the deal? And I'm like, look. People were messaging me, hey, are you okay after that? That was a mess. And I'm like, yep, I'm good. You know, it was a whole thing. My aunts, they're like, so glad you enjoyed StitchCon. Wow. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So if I bring anything away from the last week's conversation, my necklace is right there. Right there. There we go. If I bring anything away, y'all, it's late. If I bring anything away from last week's conversation and the week before, or the video before, was it a week, 2 weeks? Again, it reiterates that this community is everything. It's everything. You guys are reaching out, communicating with me. You're communicating with each other. We have fellowship inside of the stitching community that I don't feel like other people get. I don't know. They might have this in Scrapbook World. Do they have a whole knitting? They do. They have knitting and stuff like that on YouTube. I don't know if they have a whole following like Cross Stitch does. Do they have this in all of the gaming world? I mean, I know they have friends and stuff that they game with, but I don't know that they have this. Where, and I'm not comparing numbers at all, so please don't think that I'm not necessarily interested in having, you know, 6 million followers or anything. That's fine. I don't need it. For one thing, I don't want to have to keep up with all of this stuff. That's a tax problem. So if I have a friend over here who has 6,000 followers and she's talking to them one week and she tells them to come over here and watch, you know, this other Flosstuber over here, and then this other one with 10,000 followers tells me to come over here and watch this. You got 16,000 people potentially, you know, depending on if these two are sharing followers that are coming over here. It's crazy. You guys share like nobody's business. And then I'm watching all of these Flosstubers opening their mail. I've never been a big mail person. I enjoy going to the mailbox. I don't enjoy the content because it's usually bills. But, you know, when I get something that I've ordered or something, you know, I get excited about it. Erica bought a hat last week, and I texted her immediately. I was like, oh my goodness, your hat's in. It's going on your bed. But, you know, they're opening mail from complete strangers. And you guys are sharing food and floss drops and floss and patterns and all kinds of stuff with a perfect stranger because you've enjoyed that connection that you've had with them on their YouTube. It's the same connection that people feel in church and at a concert. A full setting becomes a one-on-one when you connect with the presenter. It's a whole psychological thing. And then there's the whole sensitivity side, because we're creators. That's what we do. We're artistic. Our brains are more sensitive to the things going on around us because we absorb. So why did I make all of those people who were texting me and messaging me cry? Because I told an amazing story about something that happened in a full-size setting that affected one person at a time. I love our community. I love it. I have sort of personally gotten to know, I'm getting to know, let's put it that way. I'm getting to know 3 or 4 people. I don't know all about them yet. I know 2 of their birthdays. I feel accomplished. Talking to them about family, talking to them about events, whatever's happening. It's slow, but it happens because we're investing in each other through this magical world called Flosstube. Chris Cross-Stitch with an X. He did a fabulous job. He started after me. I don't know how many followers he has. I love him. I love watching his stuff. I mean, I'm not offended by, oh my gosh, how did they get so many? That's not me. You guys come here for counseling. I get it. He's created a whole neighborhood. I mean, he based it on a Mr. R from PBS. I don't want to violate any kind of anything. I'm under some kind of watch thing because I was using music that was provided by the app that I use to edit. So, I don't know. I won't be using that music anymore. Anyways, he's created a whole environment. Like, he's including them. And, now he's got, all of these things coming in. And he's raised $10,000 for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Because all of these people are invested in him and the work that he's doing. That's amazing. Amazing. My friend Chrissy, while I'm on this, because we need to help her. My friend Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, is designing. I'm model stitching for her. You're going to see a little bit of that here in a little bit. She has designed a cute fall pattern. And she went ahead and released it. I don't want to say the name wrong, so I'm not gonna. But go watch her. Just go watch her. You're going to love this week's video anyway. It's all about Christmas. She's released it in her Etsy shop, Finally a Farm Girl on Etsy. And the first $300 that she raises from those sales of that one pattern is going to an organization I believe her sister works with. They are going to buy a student, I believe a single student, all of the supplies that they need to start back to school. And her goal is the end of the month because I believe their first day is August 5th or something like that. So, run, don't walk, to Finally a Farm Girl on Etsy. Buy this pattern. I believe it's a Matilda pattern. I'll put it in the thing. And help her. I think she's at 30. I think she's at 30 now. But help her be able to buy a student. And she's not going for a little student. Like, she's not going for the cute little... She's going for a teenager who's going to need some stuff. Shoes, backpack, clothes. The student needs to go back to school being proud of themselves. So, go to that. Shoo! Go. Come back. We'll do the video. So, it's things like that, our community is investing back into our communities. And it's amazing to watch. I have been involved in church all of my life. I stepped out of the limelight 3 years ago now. and 2.5, 3 years ago. I guess 3.5 years ago. Anyways, before that, I was hosting all of the Bible studies. I was the leader of the youth group. I was raising money for missions. I was raising money for the kids to go to camp. I was doing all of the bunco get-togethers. I did it all. I was involved in all of this stuff. And it takes money, and it takes time, and it takes energy. And now that I can sit back and enjoy the retreats that I'm not putting on, and I can do all of the things with people that I'm not having to supervise and watch over, I'm just like, wow, this community is amazing. It's just amazing. Literally, while yes, we're buying patterns for ourselves, and yes, we're buying material for ourselves and all of the things that we collect, we're also supporting somebody else that we don't have to. And this isn't their primary job. You know, it's their art. It's their passion. And we're here for it. Like, we legit jump up and we're here for it. I spent, an hour and a half, something like that the other night with Becca. Sandbury Stitches. She's trying to de-stash. Bless her heart. She's designing so much that she's like, I gotta get rid of some patterns. Like, she's just, she's collected all of these years, and now that she's doing her own, she's like, I don't have the space. So I was like, go live on Instagram, and we'll have a fun night. We'll have fun, and we'll do a live show, and we'll chit chat, and I'll admire all the goodies and wish that I had them all. And I ordered a couple. Anyway, so after I got off work, I came home and clicked the button, and we did all the things. It's just fun. So many people jumped in on that. That was a blast. Somebody else needs to do that. I'm not getting rid of my stuff. Anyways, jump on hers, by the way. Instagram, she's still posting. Bless her heart, she's so sick. But she's still steady posting her de-stashing so that she can, get some things out of the way. And she has some amazing patterns. So go visit her. So we're visiting Chrissy to support the teenager, and we're visiting Becca to help her de-stash. And if y'all want to go visit Chris Cross Stitch, I'm not sure if he's still doing Imagination Station, but I think you can still donate. We're gonna, for those of you who are in our Stitch Con group, we are still praying for Angie's family. We have a sister who's losing her biological sister. And so she reached out and she was like, hey, I just need prayers. I just need support right now. 300 people, that you hung out with for an entire weekend. We're there. We're not there in physical, but we're there in spirit. It's just a fantastic community. And I'll talk for 13 minutes about you guys. Are y'all sick of yourselves yet? I'm so proud of y'all. I love y'all so much. All right. So I watched quite a bit of Flosstube this week. I say this week, the last day. I just kind of turned it on and let it roll at work today. Today was a really good day at work. I stitched all day. Not all day, but most of the day. Wanted to stitch all weekend, didn't happen. Cleaned my back porch, got rid of some stuff, reorganized some stuff. I pulled out all of my finishing items. I'll post pictures of them. It's fantastic. The back porch is looking fabulous, if I may say so myself. Got some of this bookshelf straightened up. Got my binders in order the way that I wanted them. Got Chrissy all in a binder by herself. She's in unicorns. Yeah, that was it. Erica was in. She had a major dental procedure today. She's not doing horrible. I just talked to her before I started recording, so I'm glad for that. So y'all just keep her in your thoughts and prayers. It's Katie's short week at work, so hopefully she's doing fabulous. I think I told y'all Trey renegotiated his contract with the school, so he is going to be staying on at the school, so I'm glad about that. I spent an evening with my cousin and his fiance, my aunt and uncle next door. We played Phase 10 all night. I haven't ever spent time with her. She's a blast. She is so fun. So she asked me to help her decorate for their wedding. I said absolutely. So I'm excited about that. And then of course, Trey's wedding is the month after theirs. So we've just got a lot going on, like a lot coming up. Erica made the Dean's List today, so a lot of you guys saw that on Instagram. Super proud of her. Hey, I don't know if the aunts know. You guys? Yeah. So she is, she's back at camp. She's doing camp in where she's at for 2 weeks, and she's going back to Texas for a week, and then she's going to Florida for a week for the National Fine Arts, and she's going with their small groups, young adults group, and then she's going back to Texas. She's moving in. She got accepted into an apartment building that's much smaller, and it actually has separate apartments, a common room, and then their personal bathroom, and then I guess there's a shared kitchen facility in the building. But I think there's only like 12 apartments, so that's gonna be really cool. So she got accepted in that, and it's less expensive, so that's good. Because she was thinking that she's gonna have to room privately because her roommate is getting married in the fall, and it was gonna be $1,000 more for each semester. And she was like, "Mom, I'm almost a senior. It would really be nice to be alone." And then this opened up, and she was like, "I can do that." So I think she's got a friend that's gonna room in there with her. So I think that's all of the family updates. I think. All right, that was 15 minutes of me yapping. You'll love that. So let me show you what Aunt Donna gave me. Some of you have seen my version of this. This came through the fire. Mine did, not this one. It did come through the fire. It is not scorched, but tarnished, I guess is the word, on the ends. So I still want to finish that and frame it, but Aunt Donna asked me if I would want to finish hers. Heck yeah, she's almost done. So it's probably not going to get done for this fall because there's so much going on, but I do want to finish it. So her stitches are just immaculate. They're so gorgeous. So yeah, she gave me that. She was going through organizing her shelf, which I meant to take pictures of so that I could put it in my video. Then she asked me, I can't show you because I don't have a picture. She asked me if I would be willing to stitch a project that she had gotten from my uncle. It's a firefighter project. I haven't even looked to see how far she's gotten. She hasn't. She gridded it. And it looks like this is going to be 28 count. But she gave me the pattern, and it's all blown up and pretty, and so this will probably be after the new year kind of thing, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Uncle has been a firefighter all my life. I can remember when I was little, my cousin and me and my sister are really close. He and my sister are days apart, like I think 2 weeks in age, and I'm 18 months older than my sister, and so we've always spent a lot of time together. Uncle was Boy Scout leader. He was the cool kid. He was the one who, you know, did everything with everybody. He absolutely ruined my kids. Absolutely ruined. They're spoiled. Spoiled. Anyways, so when I was a kid, I can remember they had a fireplace in their living room. And so often, my cousin and me and my sister would just lay down in the living room in a pallet, watch movies, and go to sleep when we would spend the night with them. And he would get a fire call in the middle of the night, you know, go out and do his thing, come back in. And I can remember the smell. Can't do it now, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now, I can't. But I would remember the smell. Don't want to talk about it anymore. Of, you know, just the uniform and everything. And I just always, that's how I pictured him. And as he's gotten older, he's an architect. He's a genius. You know, he's fantastic. But he still clings to the firefighter things. And so, when I went into the fire department, they would tell me stories because I worked with older members of the department. And so they could tell me Uncle Gary stories, and so they would. But he was the one who taught me how to wear the SCBA. I tested out with him in the SCBA in the dark room, did all the things. And so, you know, we have that kind of, you know, bond and connection. So I've done a couple of cross-stitch things for him, firefighter-wise. But she asked me if I wanted to do this one. Absolutely not relating to anything, you know, across the street, all that good stuff. No big deal. And I wanted to. So she gave me the whole pattern, and it's blown up. She's like, I don't know where the cover picture is. So it's okay. I'm looking forward to doing it. As a matter of fact, the name of the piece, I think, is called Waiting. Like waiting on a call. There's all my colors. But then, there's more. And then she gave me this cute little thing. It's to put a hoop inside for a finish. She bought this for, you guys remember my Santa Claus that I did for her? She bought this for that, and it didn't work. And then she gave me this binder, and I think we decided it may go to the cornucopia, but it's absolutely full of DMCs, bobbinated. And then I got some labels, and I got a floss winder. And I had lost my floss winder in the other house and just haven't bought another one. And so she asked me about that. I'm like, sure, I hand wind. But I loved my floss winder when I had it, so it makes things a little easier. So that was a fun little pickup from next door. I'm really going to enjoy both of those projects. I just got to get to them after the new year, probably. Let's talk about WIP, shall we? We shall. Look what I pulled out. So you guys know it is Christmas in July, Jolly July, all of the things. And I haven't been posting. I should be, but I haven't. To update my Instagram. I didn't do a lot on this one, but I did pull it out of the WIP box and put it in front of my eyes. So I have Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, and I started on that bottom left. I'll tell you exactly why I started on that bottom left. My thought was the bottom left was going to go fast. It doesn't. So that I could get next door to the full coverage. This is how my brain works. So, last night, I finished the eye. And I put in some of that tree branch. And I yawned the entire time. I was so tired. But I did get that far. So, I just need to pay attention to it. I might, I don't know, take this with me to Indiana. Annie and I were talking today, and I was like, so it looks like there's a lot of stitchy time. And she was like, there really is. She said, like, a whole day, and half a day, and then on the third day, we do the projects. I was like, you know, at nighttime they have dinner, and then they have, you know, time together. Like, we're going to do games, and we're going to do, you know, fun stuff. I'm all for that. But during the day, it's like breakfast, stitch, all the way to 7 o'clock. Okay. Because I'm not going to the shop and everything else everywhere else. I want to see Kim and Ashley's product. They do all of the wood blocks, all of the things that you see, that anything that Priscilla and Chelsea do, I say anything, a lot of the stuff that they do is on their product. Annie, the proper stitcher, that's who I talk about when I talk about Annie. She does a lot of the stuff on their product. I don't know, there's a bunch of people that do. Anyway, so they will have a show, and then Chelsea and Priscilla will have a show. Well, of course, I'm going to shop, you know, both of those places. But I don't know that I'm going to tour. There's like 5 or 6 shops in the vicinity of where we're going, and I doubt that I'm going to be leaving that place. So, alright, Temperature Butterfly. She's another hot one. We have not seen red until this month. Look at that. She's gorgeous, but that indicates 100 and 102 degrees. It's too hot, y'all. This is the only place I'm going to complain about it. My Facebook and my Instagram are just full of people complaining about being hot. My instant thought is, what good is it doing for you to complain about it? Is it doing anybody any good? It's just making everybody sad or mad. So, don't complain about the heat. There's nothing you can do about it. Complain about things you want to change. Alright. Aunt Debbie. You have seen this, but you haven't. I mean, you've seen the picture. So my aunt, I wanted to do a piece for her. It took me forever to figure out what I was going to do for her. And so my other aunt, the one that's next door, it's her sister. And so she was like, let's put something on the mantle for her. And I was like, absolutely. Because, you know, mantle's a center point. And she said she really enjoyed my Red House sampler. And I said, that's too big. It's too big for a mantle. And so we decided what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, she's going to watch, is the tree, all of this stuff. From this plant all the way over. And then in here, you know, we'll have the initials and all the stuff. So, that right there. I'm doing it on 28 count. 1/1. I built a house. That's what I did this week. So, I was so happy because it is beautiful. And I can't wait to get the gold in and the blue in. Oh my goodness, that blue is going to pop in 1/1. So, I would like to get that done. I don't know if it's going to happen this week or next week, because next week's a long week off. But, yeah, I can't wait to get that done. I did one motif in Quaker Christmas. This is a sow with Annie the Proper Stitcher. So I did this motif. That's one thing that she says we will work on at the retreat. We were supposed to have worked on it at StitchCon. It didn't happen. And then I called her out on it. Speaking of StitchCon, all kinds of people are doing this. This is a sow. It started on the 1st. Lots of people have gotten all the way finished or a good portion finished. I got the words. I'm doing this on a 14. It's going to be bigger. I know that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So I wanted to commemorate. It's my first ever cross stitch retreat, and so I'm perfectly fine with that. So I got the words in, or the word in, StitchCon. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 words, but I did get that done. My glasses are just sliding today. This is a new start. Lots of loose thread running around. Kind of messed up on the measurement, but I think it's gonna be okay. I think I'm just gonna have a skinny border around to finish with, but that's fine because they finished really tight too. This is Chrissy's The Night Before Christmas, Only a Farm Girl. There's her 2 little mice in the bed asleep. Santa and Mrs. Claus. And I have the Star and Mrs. Claus. It's pretty. She called for Classic Colorworks Ruby. I went fast for 304. I'm just a DMC girl. I don't have any of the other stuff on hand. I could order it, but I'm impatient. So that's what I went for. And oddly enough, I put it in my bag that I got last week. I cannot show you my retreat piece, but I worked on that. Can't show it. Sorry. I'm assuming that you guys can see it when it's finished. Not going to show you my pattern, of course, for Chrissy's newest design that I'm stitching. But I am going to show you. I showed you a teaser last week. But I got the top part of Mrs. Claus done, so I want y'all to see how cute she is. Chrissy's just doing an amazing job on her designing. So there's a Mrs. over here. There are tons of French knots in this pattern, Chrissy. Anyways, isn't she gorgeous? Look at the little gingerbread. I mean, this whole thing is so beautiful. So I'm gonna really try to finish this up, if not this week, early next week. She said no hurry, but I don't want it to, you know, take too long, because she needs to be able to put it out there with a picture. So that's the model stitching that I'm doing. Okay, I think that's all. Goals for this week are going to be work to finish Chrissy's piece. I'm going to work to put as much as I can into the house, because I would just love to see the gold and the blue. I almost said glue. And then I would like to see more on Twas the Night Before Christmas. That's a fun stitch so far. I mean, the red is just so, there's a lot. It's a fun stitch. I worked on that all day at work today. All right. So there's 32 minutes. Like 5 of it was showing you actual stitching stuff, and the rest of it was me blabbing. So I am gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Before I do, I just want to finish with, I want to finish with some just thanks and some thoughts, you know, toward our stitching family. I know that there's all kinds of people dealing with all kinds of things. The people that I know personally, though, you know, we've got Angie dealing with her family situation. Nancy from the Bougie Stitchers, she's dealing with COVID again. Jen has been on the road with her husband. They're going to his grandma's funeral, so keep them in prayers. I think they're on the East Coast or somewhere around the Carolinas, maybe. So I've been kind of keeping up with both of them. Sam Bree Stitches, Becca, I already told you she's got COVID again. There's just so much going on. So keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Send them, you know, messages. Don't tell them that I told you to do that. Why did my messages get so overloaded? Oh, Melissa was on. Anyways, just keep them in your thoughts. Be kind. Always be kind. And, you know, if you see something going on, you know, just check in with people. Just, you know, let them know, hey, I'm here. Just saying hi, checking in. That may just be a Southern hospitality thing, but I really don't think it is. I really feel like people do that everywhere. So, you know, everybody has a kind heart somewhere. All right, so my quote that I found for this week, you guys know I love Brene Brown. And so she says, because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic and perfect selves to the world. That's definitely me. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. Somebody asked me one time, why are you so open? Why are you so vulnerable? Why do you let people know so much? The fact of the matter is, I never fully expose myself. That's a risk I'm not willing to take. You'll never know more than I want you to know. Challenged, not accepted. I'm not challenging that at all. But the fact that I'm willing to open up and share means I'm also willing to listen to other people struggling, perhaps with the same struggles that I am. Whether that's, you know, something temporary or something, you know, eternal, forever. Whether that's something that can be fixed or something that just needs to be dealt with. I'm here to walk this journey, whatever that looks like, with anybody who reaches out and says, hey, I need help. I may pass you on to somebody who is professional and knows how to deal with something. I may walk the journey with you to find somebody professional. You know, there's some people that you just don't need to cling to. You need to, okay, this is who you're going to deal with. And then there's some people that, you know, you're connected to. And it's like, look, I'm not leaving you. This journey is hard and you're not alone. So that was my answer to that person and to you, you know, because a couple of people have just said, why do you share so much? I'm like, because nobody else is. And people forget that people struggle. You know, the cross stitch thing is fun and you have a good time and you enjoy it. But for me, I'm not wearing my shirt today. For me, it's a form of therapy. There are absolutely days that I cannot pick a needle up. Not gonna do it. My brain is just like, no, we're shutting down today. And then there's days when I'm like, if I don't pick this needle up, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to, you know, wallow in my misery or be a sobbing mess or, you know, whatever that looks like. I tend to fiercely clean when I'm in a mood, so it may not be a bad thing. But whatever the journey is, whatever journey you're on, whatever you need while you're on that journey, just know you're not alone. And if I can do anything to help one person, I've succeeded. That's all. So I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all for listening to me babble sometimes. Appreciate y'all for cheering me on when stuff happens good. And I certainly appreciate the text and the messages and all the love and support. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And hopefully I'm going to have a lot more to show on these projects and others. Because you never know what I'm going to pull out. It's Christmas season. I still have to do my ornament for the retreat too. So we need to get that done. All right. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week.